And we're live, looking like an idiot again.
Yeah, we're live. Two guys on a wrestling podcast here with the Tuesday Night Delight.
Yep. Although, if if you watch wrestling in the past 2 days, wrestling hasn't been a delight.
Wrestling hasn't been a delight for the last couple of months, bro.
Yeah, but it particularly got kind of rough these past 2 days. I'm sorry, and I can't believe I don't agree.
What's the deal?
Nelson
What's the
Nelson
deal?
Mania, Nelson Mania, watched Hell in a Cell. He gave it a B plus, or B minus. I gave it a C minus.
Dude, I watched Hell in a Cell. I give it a D at best. What the hell was up with the invisible hand? Did Don Callis all of a sudden sign with WWE?
Oh God, I hope not, because if that means fucking finger bang McTitty fuck will be there.
Probably. But I mean, seriously, and then you have a second Hell in a Cell on Raw. That was just a ratings get, and you know it was.
The thing of it is, though, they're watering it down too much.
Dude, Hell in a Cell's been watered down since 2000. When
Yeah,
was the last time the structure did any damage to anyone?
no, I'm not talking about.
I'm just
that
saying.
watered
When
down.
was the last time that the structure did any damage to anyone? No, when was that? Never. Anytime
Yeah,
I hear Hell in a Cell now, it's like okay. How many?
they turned it into a steel cage match.
Like,
That's all.
okay. I hear Hell in a Cell now. It's like, okay, how many weapons are going to get used? Who's going to go to the top of the cell and jump off like a fucking retard? That's what I hear. That's what comes to mind now. It's not, oh crap, it's a structure of destruction. No. Back in the day, yes, not now.
It's because the Hell in a Cells back in the day were only used sparingly.
Yeah, it wasn't. There wasn't an
what
entire pay per view built around it.
the first Hell in a Cell match was what 92?
97 actually.
No, 97. Okay, my brain
It was Brett and I said Brett. It was
Shawn and the Undertaker.
Shawn and Taker, and the winner would go on to face Brett at Survivor Series, and that's how we get to the.
It wasn't like the next one in 94,
98.
no 98. I'm keep on putting it back.
Yeah.
See, when you have one every year, you have multiple. It just waters it down. It makes it where it's not special anymore.
It's the same thing with the Elimination Chamber TLC.
Yeah, it's just that's they killed them. They killed their market on them. And then, like you said, to have it SmackDown, the whole pay per view for Hell in a Cell, and then Monday too, which sadly Monday's Hell in a Cell match was better than any of the matches before that.
Yeah.
The match between Kofi Kingston and Bobby Lashley was actually really good.
And honestly,
it was the high point of a dismal week.
And honestly, I'm hoping that Vince has something planned for when fans come back, something to change the pace. Something needs to happen.
I forget. I had to put these up. And actually, I was talking. You scored that higher than I did. I thought it was that bad.
I gave it. Like I said, I give Hell in a Cell a fucking D. There was some good matches. Don't get me wrong. There was some good matches. But as far as an entire show, it sucked, especially for it to be the last one in the Thunderdome.
Well, I'm glad to see the Thunderdome going. Wrestling needs live crowds. It needs.
It does. There. It needs that live crowd reaction because without it, a lot of you could be having the best match out there,
right?
And without a crowd, what do you really have?
That's just it. It's not there. Look at. It used to be a tradition with the Raws after WrestleMania when they started having WrestleManias or in Raw in the same town. where they used to have the pay-per-views and then they would move to the next town and go on from there. We're doing Raw. But then when they started doing Raw at the pay-per-view locations, the Raws after WrestleMania were always nuts.
Oh yeah,
and they were always, the cards were just the same as any other Raw before, but that crowd fed it.
Yeah, and it was coming off of WrestleMania, and the adrenaline's flowing from that. So yeah, but this past WrestleMania and the Raw after, I'm sorry, I even watched the Raw after live on USA, and it literally hurt me. It hurt me to watch it.
You know, I watched Raw this morning, and it. Hope my boss doesn't watch this. I watched Raw this morning.
I hope my boss don't watch this.
Because I did work during this time too. I just had it going in the background. It's not like I didn't. I just sat there and didn't do anything. But yeah, like I said, I hope they're not watching.
I mean, Nelson does raise a point. The WWE should only do 4 pay-per-views, honestly.
Yeah, I think going back to the Big Four method would work out great for them.
You know,
less of a strain on their writers, less of a strain on their talent.
I mean, look at Impact. Impact just has 2 pay-per-views, 2 huge pay-per-views, and that's it. Maybe 3 if you count Hard to Kill, and that's it. You have Hard to Kill, Slammiversary, and Bound for Glory.
And even AEW, that's the one saving grace of AEW, I think, is the lack of pay-per-views per year.
Yeah, because there's no point in doing a pay-per-view a month. It just no.
And I mean, they don't even do a pay-per-view a month with WWE. They're doing one like every 2.5, 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, like here's the thing: you have NXT has a good concept. They set their takeovers normally during the Big Four pay-per-views, which is a good idea. But now with this, Thunderdome crap and this COVID crap, they haven't been able to do that. But I do like how NXT does their takeovers. They don't do them very often, but when they do, they're huge events.
Yeah. And I think the last major takeover was
in your house
before WrestleMania. No, the big one was the one before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
What was it, Stand and Deliver?
Yeah.
And Stand and Deliver stole the weekend.
Yeah, because it was over 2 nights. Yeah. We gotta think in NXT they're allowed to be talented in NXT versus WWE. When you come up to WWE, they take everything away from you that made you who you were in NXT, and they try to repackage you and recreate stars, and it doesn't work.
Right, and they've always done that.
The only people that they didn't try to recreate was AJ Styles, Ric Flair.
No, they didn't do it with Ric Flair. They did they kind of screwed around with AJ Styles for a while.
Yeah.
But he was a guy, I think they finally realized the fact that, okay, we can't do this with him.
Not to the level that they've done like Kevin Owens or
Sami
Zayn or Cesaro
And oh dear God in heaven, why the hell did they have another fucking Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens match? I mean, good God. They have done that match, since they've both been called up to the main roster, they've had to have done that match,
if you want to go 15 back
times,
further,
and I'm just saying,
if
people that don't even know they existed before they came on Raw and SmackDown. I'm talking about forget NXT, because they did it there. Forget Ring of Honor. Forget all of them. I'm talking about just strictly main roster Raw, SmackDown. How many times have they done that damn match? It's got to be somewhere near 15 times.
I've lost count around the second time they did it on the main roster.
Because they did on the main roster, they did like 3 or 4 matches in a row.
It's because
every pay-per-view.
It's because they have nothing really. I don't know. I can come up with any excuse out there, but at the end of the day, what the fuck is going on? It is getting repetitive. It really
Absolutely.
is.
See, that's the thing. I agree with the releases if they were to bring in new blood.
Yeah.
But that's what they've got to get where we're not having Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. We're not going to get any more Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley. We're not going to get, Big E versus
Like
Apollo Crews.
I even said in the group chat after Hell in a Cell went off, I'm so glad that McIntyre and Lashley will never face each other again. And then, lo and behold, what happens on Raw? Really?
Well,
really?
Yeah.
What? Why?
I mean, like I said, I'm looking. I do think the Kofi Kingston deal, not TLC, but Money in the Bank. I do like that.
Yeah.
I do like him going up, and I kind of. This is my worry. I would love to see Kingston win it. I'm so worried.
We both know.
Worried he's going to be a transitional champion.
If he does win it, he'll be a transitional champion. Exactly.
Yeah.
But again, dude, and then we go into Raw, and Raw is just bad.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Explain the logic behind this from a story perspective, okay?
And you're right. To watch them to cut people like they've been cutting people here recently, and their big thing is, we're going to bring back Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, but explain this to me, Joel, and I want your honest opinion on this, okay? Nikki Cross is now a superhero, and she's teaming with Alexa Bliss, who for a year and a half prior to this tried to beat Nikki's ass for how long?
It actually the last time happened just a couple of months ago, didn't it?
And Nikki's acting like none of that shit happened.
I prefer to refer to her as with their proper names, her and Alexa. It's Mighty Molly 2 and Aleister Wyatt.
Like, my thing on it
because
is,
look at what they're doing with Alexa Bliss.
I get where you're coming from.
They are copying. They're copying both of them. They're giving her aspects of both characters.
It's like we said before. It's copy and paste. It's basically copy and paste. There's no originality to anything anymore. Brock is going to be, he's like Andre used to be. He's an attraction. You bring him in at the right time. And honestly, I think they're saving Brock for when the fans are there, which isn't a bad move if you really sit there and think about it. Because you don't want. What would Brock's entrance be if you were to do it in the Thunderdome?
Right.
Let's face it. There wouldn't
Brock's
be any.
Last match was very quickly after the Thunderdome came about.
Yeah, there wouldn't be any reaction at all, whatsoever. His last match was in front of nobody at WrestleMania, the weird WrestleMania. But that was his last match.
The comparison was the same where they used to have Andre as a traveling attraction rather
exactly. I'm not comparing
actual in-ring skill.
I'm not comparing their actual in-ring skill. I'm saying that's how he's being portrayed right now, that he's an attraction, not
if you honestly want to get into that debate, if you really want to break them down into actual in-ring technical ability, Brock is going to wrestle circles around Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant was a sports entertainer by every definition of the meaning, where Brock is actually a combat sport veteran, starting out when he was in high school.
Yeah, Brock is legit. Brock will fuck some people up. Sorry for the F bomb, but that's real. Brock will mess some people up in real life and not give two F's about it.
Right. He is what he is. He, as Paul Heyman puts it, work or shoot. The outcome's usually the same.
Exactly. Work or shoot. It's gonna come out with Brock either walking away with your head or walking away with something else.
Right. That one, if everything goes as planned, they're still planning it to start around SummerSlam because of the Rock's anniversary.
No, Survivor Series. That'd be 25 years. Yeah, that'd be 25 years. Which, I mean, they're not going to be in the Thunderdome anymore.
No. So and like I said, I honestly think what we're seeing, and I have said this before, and I'm going to stand by it. What we're seeing with the current state of the WWE and the reason things are getting stretched as long as they are, we haven't seen some of the major returns that we've been that have been circulated and talked about for some time now. That is because there was no live crowd. Why are you going to pay The Rock the money? You know The Rock is going to get paid for this.
Oh yeah, Rock's going to get some.
That checkbook's going to have to open, and it's going to have to open wide.
Yeah, Rock's going to.
Why would you pay that? Why would you waste Becky Lynch's return? Of course, it kind of blew up in their face with Ronda when she ended up getting pregnant.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And you're absolutely right with Brock. That is like Brock is as ultimately he has been pushed down the face too long. I think after this year gap, and I still think the only way to turn to get Roman out of this head of the table is probably going to lead to a fight between him and Brock.
Oh yeah, it's going to lead
because I mean they keep talking. I know I'm sure the thing about I'm sure The Rock will happen, but I think they're going to take the title off of Roman before the Rock match because it would put no point to have The Rock going against the champion because we know The Rock is not going to win the belt. He
might.
This is not. He might not the WWE wouldn't want it.
Yeah,
I don't think with his schedule he will take it.
I mean, come on, think about it. He beat CM Punk for the title.
True, and Cena, didn't he?
Yeah, he beat Cena for the belt too.
And then Cena traded it next.
Bout. So it can happen.
Yeah, I mean it could. I just don't see with his schedule in movies and his TV show and all of the stuff that he's doing right now. I don't see him really fitting in that. And we've got an unknown commenter.
Yeah, a very unknown commenter. Anyways, so Joe, what else do you want to talk about with wrestling today?
I'm tired of the ICW. I've always been tired of that. The internet wrestling community.
You're tired of everything about the internet wrestling community. You cannot, even though we're part of it technically, you still want to talk shit about it.
Well, I'm tired of them getting their favorites. I just was reading an article actually before we came on here. This article was 5 paragraphs long, and I always fuck up where my camera is. 5 paragraphs long. 4 paragraphs were talking about how great AEW was. The 5th paragraph was talking about how they're losing money. And Tony Khan hopes to recover in 2021.
Yeah, I told you that.
8-figure, and also I got another little update. 8 figures for a freaking video game that hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, they're in the red over that that game that's coming. Yeah, that's supposed to be like that's supposed to be like the gameplay of No Mercy was for the N64.
Yeah, so what you do is you go back 25, almost 30 years into the past to get gameplay for a freaking PS5, or probably by the time this game gets out, PS6, PS7, PS8.
It'll be for the PS5. Well, you have to admit the gameplay for No Mercy for the N64 is actually something to behold. At the
I
time,
guarantee
at the time,
at the time exactly, and I think that's exactly it's going to blow up in their face. The other thing I want to point out is with all of this speculation about recent talk, I have been giving wrong numbers. I've been quoting the WWE at having a revenue last year of over 500 million, and I was wrong. It was actually $947 million. So
holy
to all those
shiitake
people out
mushrooms.
there that are saying that they're getting ready to sell for $4 million.
Okay, now I have a question. Since you're good with numbers and all, how much did WWE make in the Attitude Era during the height of it? Do you know?
Not right offhand. I'd have to research that to get the numbers. But I
Because
know that
I
this
know
was
that
by
this
far its
year,
most profitable
yeah,
year.
this year has been the most profitable year of WWE, even without the
Yeah.
fans, and that's saying a lot.
I mean, it's just they made almost $1 billion profit.
Well, you gotta think their subscription for the WWE Network went up dramatically when WrestleMania last year's WrestleMania, not the one that happened, but last year. Whenever it was just on the network and you couldn't go, their subscription went up at least 20%.
Drastically.
At least 20, maybe 30%.
And that, and again, and of course, part of that was their payment for the $1 billion deal for the network rights.
Yeah.
But that's $1 billion over 5 years. So that would have been broken into roughly $200 million.
Yeah. Something like that.
That still leaves $747 million unaccounted for.
Yeah.
That was profit from the company.
Yeah.
So, like I've said before, there's no way in hell the WWE is for sale.
So, how much is Tony Khan and AEW in the red right now with this deal with
they
the
will
game?
not announce that. They won't say it. They just say they're in the red and hope they expect a full recovery in 2021.
Well, I mean, with the fans that are behind AEW, I can't see them coming back from this. It might take them some time, but I can't see them coming back.
They basically have come down to they've paid 8 figures for the video game. Or they've put 8 figures in so far. The game is not done.
And you know whose idea it was to even do this? It was Kenny's.
Kenny Omega's. Yeah.
Yeah. Because Kenny's a huge gamer. He's a huge game freak.
Yeah. And it's like I said, I think it's going to blow up in their face. I really do. I think he's going to go after the retro style. People don't pay top dollar for those games. Not anymore.
I don't think it's going to sell well. Once the game comes out, I don't think it's going to sell well. I really don't.
And the option for $9.99 or for Peacock, it can even be $5.99 or $4.99 to watch their pay-per-views versus $60 a month. Yeah, that's a much better option.
That's the only thing that hurts AEW because their pay-per-views are about that price. If you include tax,
$60.
If you include tax and you pay that every month. Now, from what I've read, I don't know how true it is. It's all rumors, speculation, whatever. Supposedly, AEW is talking with people from HBO Max to stream their pay-per-views on HBO Max. That's a rumor, is not yet confirmed.
Well, it would fit because they do have a working partnership with Time Warner. That's where they're on with TNT and TBS. HBO is owned by Time Warner.
Yeah.
The only thing is, and Tony Khan, and by the way, the information I'm giving you guys, I've got that from Forbes magazine. So that was the one that did the interview with Tony Khan about this.
I read the whole thing with them trying to do the HBO Max deal on on a website. So,
Yeah.
like I said,
Well, I mean,
it's just
it would
rumor.
make
It's
sense.
not 100% for sure.
The only thing that I don't know if what they're going to have to look at is the percentage that they will get from HBO Max versus their buy rate. Because right now, and Tony Khan has said this, the only thing that's even keeping them going is the TV rights and the payments that they're getting from TNT and their pay-per-view buy rate. That's the only thing keeping them afloat.
Well, I'm surprised that Tony Khan's dad hasn't stepped in yet and said we're not doing this anymore.
It's, I think, because of the pandemic, anyone in business would have realized, especially this type of business, you're going to take a beating this past year. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it.
You're going to get fucking
Professional
hammered.
wrestling is a touring live event.
You're going to get hammered.
That is where they make their money, and that was not available to them for 2020.
You're going to get hammered this year.
Right. And for most of 2021. So you've got to look, it's been over a year now since these companies have been able to get on the road, since they've been able to get in front of live crowds, since they've been able to have ticket revenue, merchandising revenue, things like that. And that's where they make their money at.
Yeah.
I think he would have realized that if there was a chance of them making a profit, it wouldn't have been last year.
No, hell no.
It would have to come in to the next year. So I'm thinking that if they don't start making a profit by the end of 2022, that's when I think he will step in and go, listen, either we change shit or we close it.
I mean, my thing on it is, like me and you talked about off air numerous times. And with what you told me about Andrade's contract, having creative control, that's what pretty much bankrupt another company that was on time on TNT or whatever, and that was
Right.
WCW. And I'm sorry to say it, if AEW doesn't change certain things and do certain things differently, it's going to be the new WCW.
Oh, absolutely. And I said that too. AEW, Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes. I tweeted it to all of them. I'm like, you officially became WCW Junior.
Yeah.
It's like, you've always wanted that title. You've always wanted the moniker. You have Cody Rhodes playing every inch of Dusty Rhodes he could possibly play. Plus, you're on the same network. Everything short of the same time slot and calling it Nitro, you're cloned.
Oh, and also,
now that you're giving your own people creative control, there you go.
And also, I've seen the intro for the Rampage show. Well, bits and pieces of the intro for the Rampage show. And it looks a lot like WCW Thunder.
Oh, Jesus. And and yes, I have heard him say he wanted to his kids to spend the money before he dies. I don't think he's prepared to die, though.
Yeah, I don't think he's ready to, laying that good old dirt nap yet.
Yeah, so that comes into a big question. He's only like in his 50s or 60s,
something like that. Yeah,
that man could have another 20, 30, 40 years left on this earth.
Yeah,
he has no intentions of even retiring at the moment.
No,
much less dying. So the question is, how quick is he willing to let them spend that money? Does he want to spend his days relaxing, sipping drinks on the beach somewhere? Or does he want to spend his days trying to rebuild the empire he once had?
I mean,
I know you didn't say he wants to die, and I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying that there's a difference between wanting to see your children enjoy the fruits of your labor.
There has to come
go versus let's just spend it like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, it has to come to a point where you're at a crossroads whenever it comes to this. You either want to keep going the way you're going and possibly losing everything that you worked your ass off to build, or decide, okay, we're not doing this anymore. I'm taking my money and you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, and I think he will step in and take more of a leadership control. I mean, the man is a businessman. He can run anything. He's running a football team. He can step in and do things.
Yeah.
And I think the first thing he's going to do is I think he would take control, or at least a bigger role in control uh, of the company. And I think he would just simply make a lot of changes.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted, okay? I love some AEW. I've seen some of their recent stuff. It's got me hooked back into it a little bit, not as much as I used to be. Because you can ask Joe, I was praising AEW, throwing the banner up, and all kinds of stuff. But at the same time, watching their first show and watching everything that happened after that, I kind of got sour to it. Now I'm starting to get back into AEW, but it's taking a lot of time for me to get there.
I've tried. I still can't.
I mean, the only thing that really has me hooked in AEW, honestly, aside from they have a hell of a tag team division for real. If you really look at it, they got a hell of a tag team division. They do have a great
tag team division that gets screwed around by the Young Bucks constantly.
Oh, well, take the Young Bucks out of it.
And the bad thing is that's the thing, you can't, because everything is centered in the tag team division around the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
And the problem of it is, at one time, yes, the Young Bucks were one of the best tag teams in the world. They were hungry, they were talented, and they were out there to prove who they were. But now they've reached that level of success. Now everyone does know who the Young Bucks are. They are no longer the Young Bucks. They're the Bucks. They are the veterans of the field.
Yeah.
And now, instead of gearing up to pass that torch on and give another one of those hungry teams like Jurassic Express, the Varsity Blondes, one of these hungry young teams, instead of giving them the shot and let them run with the ball for a while, they're keeping it.
But
because
here's the
now
thing.
They've turned into Hulk Hogan in 1999.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
They've got their spot and they're scared to lose it.
We can both agree on this. WWE or AEW, they don't know how to book their women's division at all.
Nope. The only plus I have to give anything with this whole fiasco of Mighty Molly 2 is Nikki Cross has got a little bit better of a body on her than she's been showing.
But here's the
I mean, that's the high point.
The reason why I got so pissed about that is because I didn't understand why the fuck the change had to happen.
That's what I'm saying. Out of all the only thing, that's what I'm saying.
I know, but if
you're sitting there looking for that silver lining of the cloud.
Yeah.
Is it Nikki Cross has actually got a hell of a body on her?
Yeah, but I'm
other
just saying,
than that, there's nothing there.
Like, okay, you watch Raw more than I do. You watch it the day after. I just catch highlights anymore because I'm to the point of like, fuck it. Is there a rhyme or reason for the change? Like, what was the point of this?
No lead to it whatsoever. No reason behind it. Nothing at all. I mean, even like following on Twitter, I have some of the people from WWE Creative that I follow, and nobody gave nothing until
like, there was no rhyme or reason whatsoever to her changing.
Like when it first came on, the first time I knew about it was on Raw, and when it first came on, it was zoomed in on the mask. I was like, they got somebody debuting like Mighty Molly? What the hell are they doing? And then she starts talking, and I'm like, what the fuck? The voice I heard? It was like,
I mean, here's the thing: with Mighty Molly, there was a rhyme or reason to it.
Right. There was
It's just with this, it's like
it was just there.
It's like,
it would have even made more sense if she came out like against Alexa Bliss. So you had the evil versus the
Yeah, it
You know,
would
the
have.
superhero.
It would have. Honestly, if you want to go with story continuity, that would have been a perfect way to have Nikki finally overcome Alexa. Because let's face it, in the rivalry, Alexa was whooping her ass.
Right. And Nelson is complaining that I have not read his comment yet. So he says he is done with AEW. It's bad. The only wrestling he likes now is NXT as much as bad as he's talked about NXT. Which, yes, you used to talk shit by the gallons about NXT, but now you started watching it, and now you see what we're talking about.
NXT's always been a decent show. Take out the game show aspect of it.
Right.
But once Triple H got control, it was a better show. And honestly,
And it has steadily gotten better and better over time.
since Triple H has gotten in control of 205 Live, also is that show's gotten better.
You know, I got to say, with basically DX running NXT, and that it shows the drastic improvement. And why they cannot look and see this, I don't know. You know,
well, here's the thing. Vince looks at NXT as the redheaded stepchild, just like he did ECW.
Right. He still looks at it as developmental, and he has no interest in it.
Yeah, and if you want, and for you fans who loved ECW on Sci-Fi, it's now on Peacock.
And for you fans who love ECW on Sci-Fi, why the hell? It was hard.
I watched one episode and then I was like, no, I'm good.
Well, actually, it's HBK, Triple H, and Road Dogg. So,
yeah, and also,
at one time, Billy Gunn until he got busted juicing in the fire.
And then Billy Gunn goes to AEW. And also for the Peacock people out there that watch wrestling on Peacock, the old SmackDown stuff is finally on Peacock.
Oh, and speaking of Peacock, Nelson Mania can attest to this one, and so can I. There was huge errors across the board streaming Hell in a Cell.
I watched it. I didn't really watch it. I kind of was just like nodding in and out. What errors were you talking about?
They wouldn't play.
Oh, it played for me. It played for me.
It says it was going. It was like it started live. You hit the button to watch, and it doesn't come on. It said it was a CDN error.
It played for me. Fine.
I had to. I reset my Roku, and it worked then. But I was looking all over Twitter, all over Facebook, TikTok. A lot of people were complaining about it.
Seriously, what's up with the hand, though, man? The hand that appeared. What's up with that? Like, for real. like, I watched it, and I was like, there's someone under the ring. There's someone under the ring. There's someone under the ring.
Right. I thought there was someone. I put that in the group chat.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, shit, there's someone under the ring, because I was figuring somebody was going to come under.
That's what I was thinking, too. And I was like.
So I'm like.
And Sean even said, I guarantee you it's Kofi. I guarantee you it's Kofi. I guarantee you it's Kofi. I'm like, no, that's a white dude, homie. That's a white dude.
That was the thing. And then I thought, when it's like started, I could tell the match was wrapping up, and I'm like, wait a minute, maybe it was MVP and he moved something. I guess it was a spare cameraman.
I don't know.
Do they just make a cameraman sleep under the ring, and then it's like, oh yeah,
it was Hornswoggle. It was Hornswoggle.
And Nelson says it was Eugene.
I think it was Hornswoggle. Okay.
Could have been Hornswoggle. Oh, dude, did you hear? Horny had to retire.
Why?
He had some kind of injury he needs surgery from, and they don't think he'll ever be able to get in the ring again.
Hi, Tabitha.
Hello, Tabitha.
Anyway.
I can't remember exactly the injury, but he was just at an event, and he announced that this was probably going to be his last time live in the ring.
Damn. He's going to go back to being the anonymous Raw general manager.
He's he's gonna sue. He's gonna sue Vince for back child support.
Lord knows he needs the money.
Yeah, Steve McMichaels is really, really bad too, and so is Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah, Mr. God, I couldn't recognize him in that video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff is very, very bad off. So is Mongo.
Vampiro,
time right now.
Dude, Vampiro's doing pretty good for himself. Surprisingly.
He's doing all right. But it's a rough time right now.
New Jack is dead.
Yeah.
Mass Transit's dead.
Again. Oh, got kicked on the mass transit comment. Yeah, we'll have to see for old Mike give him a second to come back here.
My phone committed suicide. It just happened.
that was a ghost of mass transit being like, man, quit talking shit about me. I gotta run now. New Jack's up here. I ain't had a damn minute's peace since that bastard got up here.
You know, though, when New Jack walked into heaven, bro. When New Jack walked into heaven. No, it was Mass Transit. I was talking shit about him.
Right.
But when New Jack walked into heaven, it played his theme song and Mass Transit dipped.
Yeah. And yeah, it's always operated around function. I mean, just look who the operator is.
First of all, you're the one that brought me in, motherfucker. So technically, if it's the operator malfunction, that would be you.
I actually remember when I was in Facebook jail and I had to give you the stuff to log in. You bring yourself in automatically now.
Oh, nice. Really? What is this? You're shooting on me. Shooting. Anyway.
The only thing will stop me from having anything with wrestling is when the god of wrestling dies, Hulk Hogan.
He gonna die soon.
The god of wrestling.
Okay, first of all, he's not the god of wrestling. He's not Vern Gagne. Oh shit! I went too far.
Vern Gagne. I was about to say he ain't Virgil.
He ain't Meat Sauce Mike.
Oh God! I hope he comes back.
He ain't Lil Fuck Money Jones.
Or just teasing Nelson. But I do hope he actually comes here to that. I got to get out that damn toy store because I got to get something for Jake Roberts, and I got to get something Darby Allin because they're going to be here in July 23rd.
Yeah, for that some kind of card convention.
Yeah, KY card convention, the Kentucky card sports card and collectible convention.
Where are they having that at?
Rep.
Where are they having that at?
Rep. Yep. It will be there, and like I said, I'm going to that. I'm going to meet Jake Roberts.
Nelson, I'm going to tell you something. You know what got me into wrestling? Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, good Lord. Give me hell yeah.
You sat there and you thump your Bible and you say your prayers. It didn't get you anywhere.
Hell, who was it got me into wrestling? Yeah, I would love it if Sting comes too. I keep keeping an eye out, but they haven't announced anybody else.
I don't think Sting's coming. Although Sting might come to Comic-Con.
Well, there's been a lot of people. He's popped up a lot of places Darby Allin has.
Keeping the story going, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I'm thinking he might. I would love it if Sting
that's a good question. What got everyone into wrestling? Who was it that got you into wrestling?
That's a damn good question. That's exactly what I was sitting there thinking. I was like, who the hell was it? Because you got to remember, the first time I saw wrestling was like back in the 80s. And it was the WWF. And me and my brother had a wrestling match and we weren't allowed to watch it anymore.
So it wasn't the NWA stuff that got you into it?
No, that was kind of later when that was what I never knew him. My father was dead long before I
Ooh,
even knew him.
nice
I see that
comment.
Dutch Mantel.
Nice comment.
Very nice.
Oh
He has
my
actually
God.
turned into one of my favorites. I love Dutch. He's freaking great.
For me, again, it would have to be a combination of three people. It would have to be, I'm sorry to say it, I know Nelson's gonna hate me for it. Hulk Hogan, whenever he turned evil and joined the NWO, loved it. And Stone Cold, and also if you want to go Ric Flair. Those are my three guys.
I think, of course, you got to realize, like I said, I was back during the beginning of the rock and wrestling and all of that. And that got my attention with Mr. T because I love the A-Team. If you were a kid back in the 80s, you loved Mr. T. I mean, that was just it. He was the greatest thing ever thought of. The next time, I mean, and I was into wrestling then, and there was Hillbilly Jim and Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, Roddy Piper, and all of this. Damn, another one, Bill Dundee.
That's going old school.
Somebody was in Memphis. Somebody's hanging around Memphis.
Yeah.
But the next one I remember seeing that really made me like stop and start watching wrestling, and this is where the NWA comes in. Ricky Steamboat.
So your guy and my guy had some classic matches.
The thing that got, because I mean, just think about it. You know, I'm sitting there. I'm not like I'm like still kid wise. I'm thinking maybe 7 or 8, something like that. So this was 86, 87. And he comes out with the dragon look.
Yeah.
You're going to stop and look at that.
I kind of figured that you would have said Ultimate Warrior. Honestly.
Actually, no. Honest to God, I was never a fan of his. If you go with the WWF at that time, the person I was the biggest fan of was Piper. And that's because Scotch-Irish.
I kind of figured you would have went Warrior because that just seems like he'd be up your alley.
And yeah, the Memphis territory always did come up into Louisville Tuesday nights. Actually, Jim Cornette wrote a whole scrapbook on it. An incredible book called Tuesday Night at the Gardens.
But didn't Jerry so Jerry Jarrett took care of the Memphis side of it. Did Jerry Lawler handle the Kentucky side of it, or was it a mix?
No, they were shared. Basically, the way they ran it was 6 and 6.
Okay.
Lawler was 6 months. Jarrett was 6 months.
Okay. I was just wondering. Because, I mean, I've seen some Memphis stuff on YouTube. Some of the shit that Lawler came up with is insane.
Yeah. That you could actually tell who was booking when. Because Lawler did kind of goofy stuff. He came up with Dr. Frank.
Yeah.
You know, the Frankenstein monster, the Mummy. He was a big fan of horror movies. They had one based on Jason. They had one based on Freddy Krueger.
Hold up.
He was the guy who got Batman there.
I was about to say, was he the one that brought in Batman?
He had one done like Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was surprised he didn't get sued.
At that time, they didn't give a shit. And then, of course, a lot of people didn't pay much attention or didn't really mind because this was also, remember, the Kaufman. He did that.
Hold up,
so
Thunder.
That got a lot of people.
Nelson, Thunder's on Peacock since when? I've been looking for Thunder. Thunder was my show. Not towards the end, but.
Oh, the Moondog. Hey, you've got to come on the round table with us.
Oh, definitely.
So I can have somebody to be able to talk this stuff with me.
Well,
because when I started getting into that,
we talk about it. Don't start your shit.
Yeah, but somebody actually knows the stuff I'm talking about. I don't have to explain it.
I know a little bit about the Moondogs. Don't start your shit.
But yeah, because then I'll tell you how I got into Memphis, and that was, excuse me, that was because of my like I was saying, my father was not alive. My father was killed when I was a newborn, actually.
Hold on 1 second. Okay.
Yeah, that's noisy. But anyway, my father was killed when I was.
I'm sorry.
All right, newborn. So I didn't really know him. And when I started getting into wrestling, my mom would talk about it, and she's like, "Well, your dad used to watch Jerry Lawler, and she started it. Handsome Jimmy Valiant, Dutch Mantel, Leaping Lanny Poffo." So I started looking
Really,
for that stuff,
really,
and that's
Tabitha,
when I
really.
found
First of all, I'm
Memphis.
not a crybaby. I don't cry. Okay, I don't do it.
No, he's not a crybaby, just a whiny little bitch.
Sit on and twist, motherfucker. All right.
But yes, that you do need to join us for the roundtable. We do
Uh,
have spots still available for that,
yeah.
and you can make fun of him now.
How many spots do we
So
have?
far, I think we're still stuck in at the same amount. I think we've got. I think we're dead in the middle. 5 each. 5 taken, 5 left. Because I can have up to 10 people on at one time.
Nelson, shut the hell up.
Can you imagine all the people that are going to be? You're going to have a bad day,
dude. This isn't. We should call this We should call this a shoot on Michael Day. Just
you're just an easy target. What can I say?
That's because I'm a nice guy and I put up with shit. But
no, it's because you're wide and hard to miss.
Look who the fuck is talking, motherfucker. You bigger than me.
You're further away from the camera and still taking up more of it than I am.
No, motherfucker. No, stop talking your shit. Yeah, I mean, come on. We start the podcast and Nelson's like, you should replace Mike and put me on.
No, he'll have his chance on the what's it, July? When did we decide to do that?
July 3rd.
3rd. That's right, the 3rd.
But yeah, Nelson's. Oh, Donnie's on.
What's up, Donnie? Holy shit!
Up.
Yeah, it's been a minute since you've been on here.
He hasn't been on the new version yet.
No, actually hasn't been on this one.
No.
Hey, the weird dude from Twitch, he ain't on tonight.
No, he's probably off smoking some crack somewhere.
I wonder how his 50 ingredient chili turned out, since we could only give him like 40.
I guarantee you, he ate some of that 50 ingredient chili and fucking died.
I'm only wondering.
We should reach out to that guy.
Yeah, we should reach out and see how it turned out. Ask him for the recipe.
He's been working on Gen Next stuff. That's cool.
Oh yeah. Wait, get back up there, ass. There it is. Oh shit.
So what's new in the Gen Next world? What?
He's probably from China.
That's fucked up.
I ain't touching that one.
No. I don't want the Yakuza to come after me. We're good. No, that's Japanese. Sorry.
Now they're really going to come after you. You called us Chinese, you asshole.
You called us Chinese? We're going to hell.
Oh, you disrespect my family.
You disrespect my family. Anyway.
We're just taking off the air.
I'm surprised we're not yet.
Yeah.
So we're going to do you want to do the rebooking that we talked about or wait?
We're just going to wait on that. Hell, it's already 9 o'clock almost.
That's true. There's a show Friday in Paris.
Oh, really? Shit. So they're finally starting to run in Paris again.
Yeah, too bad we'll be in Frankfurt.
Oh, I wish. Damn. So they're going up head-to-head against KEPW.
Yeah.
That's kind of sucks. Because it would actually be cool if I could go to the one in Paris. Let's go see my aunt.
But unfortunately, we can't.
Well, I wouldn't go to. I mean, I've already got my. I would go to K. I mean, I'm talking if they were to run like opposite weeks.
Oh yeah.
No, I'll stick with KPW.
You want to be our Gen Next correspondent? What?
I was waiting to see if he responded.
I know, me too. Donnie, are you still there? Come on, Donnie, where are you at, you leprechaun? Even though you're 6. He's like, that'd be cool. I'm like, all right, cool. So here's what you do. You do a review of the show on our Sunday show, the wrap-up. Sound cool?
The weekend review.
Damn. The wrestling wrap up. Wasn't there a like show called that back in the 80s?
Probably. There's Tuesday Night Titans and all sorts of shit back in the 80s.
Coolness.
Basically, all we'll have to do to have you on is just I'll send you a link on Facebook. You click a button.
Pretty much.
You will need what's that thing you'll need? Google Chrome.
Yeah, Google Chrome. Any device that can get Google Chrome.
Yep, and that will bring you on, and you can come on here, give a review of them, tell us how bad they suck.
What are you doing, bro?
Oh, I'm fucking with fishing bait.
Oh God.
What?
Yeah, so basically that's what we can do. We can have up to 10 people on here. Even for the roundtable discussion, we can have 10 people on here. All we have to do is send you a link and you can be on it. Okay with your froggy.
I got a froggy.
Really? This is quickly deteriorating into what the fuck?
And a shrimp.
Okay, can you stop? Can you stop? Thank you. This motherfucker. Anyways, the roundtable discussion will be July 3rd, and of course, you love frogs. All right, good for you.
Yeah. See, this little toady frog. How about my glow in the dark crawfish or lobster thing? What?
It's getting closer. It's getting closer.
Yeah, this is descended into insanity. Really? So before it descends any further, again, the wrap up will be the wrap up. This week's wrap up will be Sunday when it always fucking is because I've lost my damn mind.
And also Thursday we're doing a preview of KEPW.
Right. And
first of all, Nelson, if that was my girlfriend, I would not be on here right now.
Okay.
The
roundtable. Then we'll be
the one that sits there and beats off to freaking Britt Baker. Shut up.
Yep, there it went.
What?
I said, yep, there it went.
Anyway, we will do a preview of KEPW. What's the fucking show called? Summer Splash?
Summer Splash, yeah. This Friday, 7:30 bell time at the Frankfurt American Legion.
Yeah.
And so if you still want to get tickets to that, or maybe some available, you would have to try to contact through KBW or buy them at the door. The gates are when the gates open at gates open at 6:30. Yeah. So our preview will be coming this Thursday. Of course, we will be live from there on Friday, doing the whatever we end up doing there. But we're going to try to do a little pre-show this time, honestly.
Yeah.
Normally, it's just me at break times, kind of giving highlights of what's going on at the moment, in between smoking a cigarette. Where if I get seen smoking on camera, I get banned again. Fucking Facebook jail.
And also, we are talking about going back to the original podcast format.
Yeah, that is still something that is being discussed, as well as adding some more content, including whatever the hell we want to call. We did at one time do it called Match of the Week, but this time it's going to be slightly different. But we're going to be doing that for Twitch and YouTube. It can't be on Facebook or we'll get banned quickly.
Oh yeah,
and I don't want that to happen.
Coming up possibly next week sometime. Not sure the exact date yet. But we are going to do TGCW Classics.
That's what I was just talking about.
Yes, but you forgot what it was called. I had to reiterate it.
No, I just didn't. Since there is no TGCW yet, I figured we just leave the Classics part out until we get it going. And kind of a play on that. So far, our going thought is going to be just rather train wreckish matches of the past.
Yeah,
stupid crap. And I want to warn everyone watching this: it is not going to be for kids. It is going to be something. And if you are easily insulted, I don't think I would watch. But you're free to make your own decisions.
Exactly.
This will be on our Twitch and YouTube page. So you got to go there, like, subscribe, follow, jiggle. I don't know what. YouTube is tinyurl.com/ I think Two Guys YouTube, and Twitch is twitch.com or Twitch TV / TGWP pod.
Yes.
And that's how you find them. Okay, so Max just reminded me that it is July 9th, not this week. Okay, so that's in 2 weeks, correct?
I do believe so. Yeah.
I can't look at my calendar.
So.
Yeah, it'll be 2 weeks.
So,
which should be again corresponding with a KEPW event.
Yeah. So again, for all of us here at Two Guys on a Wrestling Podcast, I'm your host, Mike Maverick. That's Joel. Everyone in the chat, thanks for being here. Nelson Mania, Rolling Wild somewhere. Thank you, everyone, for being in the chat, and we'll see you Thursday, Friday, and then Sunday. Same Two Guys time.
Thursday, Friday, Sunday.
Channel.
Thursday, Friday, Sunday. Like the old NBA on the TNT. Thursday, Friday, Sunday. Thursday, Friday.